Namaste, Jai Bharat. Is it a, an immediate reality that there may be something like a military coup in Bangladesh? Is it? It's possible, at least plausible. Why is it that, speaking of this, look at the Bangladesh army. See, first of all, as on today, Bangladesh is in absolute anarchy. No law and order practically getting implemented. There is the mob rule that's going on. But then there are multiple kinds of mobs. And it appears, one should say that everyone is fighting everyone in Bangladesh, it seems. Very, very strange kind of mobs. Let me put the situation in as simple words as possible. One, what I would say, the primary difficulty is with the Jamaat-e-Islami. The Jamaat-e-Islami, they are not powerful, but then the small amount of Jamaat-e-Islami, they are sufficient to create brilliant disturbances that they do, and they keep doing. Though, in a long run, they can't be successful. Then, the Sheikh Hasina's party, latent though right now, is very powerful. Then the Bangladesh National Party. These are the things which have some say in the situation of things. But then there are many other disgruntled elements where everyone fights with everyone. This mob psychology is such a funny thing, strange thing, that the mob are very enthusiastic about mob psychology and the mob kind of activities. The mob themselves are very enthusiastic, and these enthusiasm is very short-lived. It's okay, they enjoy themselves by picking up things of others and doing whatever they feel like on others. Look at the Hindus and non-Muslims, and even among the Muslims there are clashes of different political sects, etc. This, of course, one need not to go into the details, which is obvious and which is understood by people of any level of common sense. There is something very strange, that is, some people have very strange logic, and it's very difficult for others to understand the kind of logic which makes them think in whichever directions. For this is the case of Hamas and Israel. Take the case of the Hezbollah, take the case of such people, all these terrorist outfits. I don't understand if the Hamas ever thought that they would wipe out Israel from the surface of earth. How they thought, but they must have been speaking about it. They didn't speak about it. And Hezbollah have the same objective. Now, how on earth can they expect that they will be successful? I don't think that anyone who's thinking, even a schoolboy would understand that this is an impossibility. You just can't fight with a nation like Israel with whatever things they do. But then they can create disturbances which they create. They do. And eventually, in the process, it's a kind of suicidal attitude they do. And suicide has been glorified in these people's thought process. That's a difficulty, one thing. Being suicidal is a kind of glorified. The terrorists' outfits are treated as heroes in many other societies. Of course, that's a different area of discussion, but nonetheless, one should be conscious that such things do happen and do take place. The terrorism and terrorist people are glorified as heroes, and I heard this very expression, "Oh, the hero hai ji," from the former military dictator of Pakistan, Musharraf. I was just shocked to hear him in an interview speaking about the hero, Hamare hero hai ji. That is a very difficult to understand, this kind of logic. How do they think and how do they understand things? Which is an impossibility. Similarly, Bangladesh also, they're fighting impossible odds. Each section of them fighting impossible odds. Now the army in Pakistan is one thing, the army in Bangladesh is another thing. See, this army is not really functioning as army. See, army should have no politics. Army's only relation or should be with the nation. Army belongs to the nation, not to political whims and fancies of political parties. So army should be apolitical, like the army of Bharat. They're apolitical, but they are nationalists to the core. They function for the nation, the betterment of the nation, or the good of the nation, and the unity of the nation and the strength of the nation is their goal. They don't really bother who rules, which party rules. They normally, because I was a soldier for quite some time, and we have no great regard to politicians as such, no great regards to politicians. But then we have respect to individuals and individuals' abilities who are nationalists, who function for the nation, who do some good for the nation and the society. Our primary concern is nation, secondary concern is society, though ours is a nation society. So, Bangladesh army is politicized. Pakistan army intervenes in everything. They are concerned about the day-to-day running of the nation, precisely like ruling. They are into politics. But Bangladesh army is also politicized in the sense there is a pro-Hasina faction in Bangladesh army, which includes all of the three forces, and there is a pro-BNB group in the army, and there is also this dangerous element of pro-Jamaat Islami, who are very less in number, but then there are people in the army who are pro-Jamaat Islam, and they would want anarchy. Now look at this. What anyone who wants what? The army wants elections. The political parties in Bangladesh also wants elections. Who doesn't want elections? The Jamaat Islami do not want elections. They think of the dream of a Sharia law, and that's why under the compulsion only the army and some section of the people in Bangladesh go very close to Pakistan, to the extent of bringing their intelligence of people and their army generals into Bangladesh, who were their enemy right from 71 or even before that. But there is a kind of work things going on, though it's up to nothing, in the sense these people cannot coexist. The second day they will quarrel one another. Now they may be even together. They may be together for some of their common objectives and goals, but then tomorrow they are going to fall apart. Tomorrow they are going to fight. Anyway, the thing is that let me conclude first. The army is politicized. They will want elections. But the one person who doesn't want election is the advisor to the government. Advisor to the non-existing government. That's interesting. Advisor to a non-existing government, and who is a Yunus person. He had been planted there by the earlier deep state of America, and now things are in bad shape for them. Things with the US has changed a lot. With Trump coming in, a lot of changes took place. The earlier kind of support they're not going to get. It was openly announced by the state that US they're going to stop all kinds of this waste funding, waste supporting waste elements, etc. They would like to do something constructive to their own people, which is very natural and very welcome kind of thought. So once the money stopped coming, there's nothing that's attractive for these people. So there's a possibility that the army will, at some point, possibly, they would take over and then conduct elections. But whatever may be the case, the advisor has no one to advise on now, and shall not have anyone else to advise in tomorrow's future. So this situation is very volatile in Bangladesh. Everyone fighting with everyone, no one to give law and order, and how people exist, they don't know. We can't understand how they exist. They continue to exist because they don't die just like that. Food shortage, and tell me what they are not short of. All these things is caused by this people, some funny nitwits who claim themselves to be students, and I doubt seriously if they are students or not. They are simple instruments of that. Some people who sit in the gallery and watch fun. and these people are involved in it. They are on the ground. They have to face all the things, and then those who make them dance are not going to be there for a long time. Their system or their existence is getting questioned. They will have to withdraw in any case from the scene. So, but then in these kind of situations, it's possible that there is someone in the army who still loves their country, nation, who would do something to capture the power and then conduct elections. Whosoever is coming into power will all depend on whom the army will support then. It's something like Pakistan. Okay. So they may not be a very fair democracy at all. But let's see, this kind of anarchy should end. For a nation like Bharat, we don't want disturbances in our neighborhood. You see, you are sitting in a home, you are doing something, and then the neighbor is making hue and cry, loudspeakers playing, crackers bursting. This kind of things happens to us. We may be taken with some other thought. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.